if it was going to be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I might as well go all in and just get Gary Neville. You know what I mean?
Hey, Gary and Phil Neville at the helm. There's a pairing.
Yeah, and Roy Keane as assistant coach.
Yeah. What a
do
team.
you know what? To be fair, I'd fucking love. I'm not saying Roy Keane, by the way, but somebody like that that's just going to go, oi, come on,
do your job.
Yeah, exactly.
Do your job.
You know, lads. You know when you get your paycheck at the end of the week. You know that job that we pay you to do. Could you just fucking do it?
Says it on your wage slip.
Footballer.
Yeah, footballer. Play a game. Play a game.
Welcome to Buckets and Bubbles.
Hello.
I'm recording now, Mike.
I even said to you, "Are you recording?" You went, "Yeah."
Yeah, I wasn't.
Yeah. No,
I wasn't.
No.
So let's do all that again.
All right.
How you feeling?
Oh, I've got a cough. Look, I'm full of it. No, I've caught school flu off my daughter. She got started at week and then had to come home. Like within an hour of getting started at week, she was devastated.
Yeah.
And then keep me.
It happens this time of year. My eldest, although he's not, he's 15, but he's been off with it. So it's going about.
Did he get started at week?
He didn't get started of the week. They don't really do that, but they get these sort of little points. I get emails every so often. Oh, he's just earned 10 points. They're like 15.
Yeah.
Going fuck off.
Like old school merits.
Basically. Yeah. I think they get 10 points for not telling their teachers to bollocks.
I mean, that's a low bar I'm willing to get into. I could quite happily fit into a system like that.
Why is it called Buckets and Bubbles?
Prepared this week. It's right. Buckets and Bubbles because it's a bucket of beer and a bottle of Prosecco. It's the kind of night invented by a manager called Kyle, who once did Mali at 09 and never emotionally recovered.
Right, Kyle.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Kyle.
09?
Yeah.
Don't quite. I think we're a bit older than 09.
Although,
unless they mean 1909.
1909, yeah, that's maybe. But, it's around the time you dabbled in bars abroad, I suppose.
It's actually the time I stopped dabbling in bars and 09 and went to drama school and got a first-class degree in lying.
Cool.
Didn't do me much good.
We're sat here talking to 6 people. Good. Hello, 6 people.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Before we move on to the catastrophe that was, just Leeds, basically.
The
yours
city.
is all right. We'll get We'll get yours in a minute. Well, let's do some social media. Leeds were quite boring in the lead up to it. They did teasers with Pirro, who was Championship top goal scorer last season. We need to score some goals, and they tweeted this, or rather Instagrammed it. I can't remember where I saw it, and it sort of teased us. We sort of went, ooh. Are we going to get him in? Is he going to play number 10 maybe? Maybe try and create something for us? Nah.
Brilliant. You'd think there'd be a link between team sheets.
Well, you're making the assumption that they're sort of joined up in that way. I'm not sure that's how Farke does shit.
Yeah, yeah. Or maybe he just didn't know. And that maybe speaks of perhaps why Leeds are where they are.
Well, there is an argument to say that might well be the case.
I can't believe I'm making the argument that their social media team is the reason...
It could be, because let me take you on to the next one, which is the one that came out just before kickoff, which was a picture of sort of the players emerging from a forest towards the city ground. Now you can sort of see what they've done there.
Forest.
However,
Nottingham Forest. Yeah,
correct. Longstaff is sort of looking round as if to say, "Don't make me go in there. I don't want to go in there." He's almost got his hand up going, can I just stay at home?
Yeah.
Because that's what most of them did. Nottingham Forest, they did one, which I thought was interesting, which was sort of similar to the Brighton one. Do you remember when I said Brighton?
Keep off the grass. Yeah.
Correct. They did this one, which was just a little message similar, which says, courage is the first of human qualities because it is the quality that guarantees all the others. Now, the problem is, all I read really was courage. And where they've put this sign is sort of at the bottom of the post, sort of hidden away. And it was so hidden away that the Leeds players definitely didn't read it. Because they showed zero courage. Is it from the Lion King?
It's attributed to both Aristotle
Of course it is.
and Winston Churchill. That's quite a spectrum.
Both pissheads.
Yeah, slightly problematic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to read Oedipus recently.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did that go?
Shite. It's utter shit.
It's one of the classics, Mike.
Yeah, but it's like Micah Grove's pilot episode. You won't sit down and get the family round and go, I'm going to enjoy this. It's shit, isn't it?
No, you wouldn't do that.
No.
You wouldn't do that. Similar. It's cultured, this, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's cultured. Courage is the first of you. Yeah, it's a very Sean Dyche thing, though, isn't it? That.
You can imagine
Courage
him
is
stood
the
there in his tracksuit.
Yeah. Fair enough. Stach. Let's do Stach. Always enjoy his. Robin Hood, Nottingham Forest, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, Robin Hood, actually a Wakefield lad, not from Nottingham.
Wakey lad.
Yeah.
Because a little bit of history and geography for you, that Sherwood Forest used to come all the way up.
Did
Wakey.
Did when something like 2% of the country didn't have a forest on it.
Correct.
Something like that. Then they did Brighouse.
Is it something like 150 years ago that a squirrel could go from Edinburgh to London without touching the ground?
Yeah. A red
Something
one
like
as
that.
well.
I don't know. It would have been a red one, I would imagine, yeah, before the little grey fuckers took over.
Proper squirrel. Proper squirrel. I'm going to go paint a roundabout now.
Yep, do that. Get some flags out. So that was Stach. Your social media, let's do a bit of that, because they've just gone
Freddie Potts again?
They've gone absolutely... Well, I mean, there's a fair chance it's Freddie Potts. What I did like was the artistic manner in which they did the shirts. I'm saying artistic. I reckon they've got the YTS lad in. He's had his finger over the lens, and they've just gone, oh shit, we've got to make that work. And so they've just put sort of shadows all over it.
They do like a bit of a moody... They go for a slightly intimidating theme sometimes, because there's that East End... Like, the chairman, Mr. Sullivan, likes to imagine himself a bit old school in the East End, in that vein of gangsters. And so he likes those kind of vibes emanating through the club. And
the We're Forever Blowing Bubbles song. Yeah. I mean, it's not very intimidating, is it? I think it gives it a slight edge, because it's quite an innocent song. It can be quite sinister. Pretty bubbles in the air. I don't know. I mean, sinister in a sort of, creepy clown sort of way. Yeah. Or, paedophile. that sort of... I'm not saying anybody is a paedophile. I'm just saying, if it was sinister, it might be in that sort of way. Yeah. Can I say that? Yeah. You can say what you like. I reckon I can. Right. So he thinks he's a bit of an East End gangster. Yeah, with his Russian hat on. Fair enough. He had a sparkly jacket on the other week as well. A sparkly jacket? Yeah. Don't mind that. He's 80. Don't mind. Get inside. Get your slippers on. Man of a certain age having a sparkly jacket. Yeah. Don't mind that. Don't mind that at all. Speaking of moody, though, what about Poppygate? Tell me about that. Oh, no. There's a certain somebody, who I shan't name because I don't want to give the short-ass twat any airspace. Okay. All right. And that's not Sullivan. No. Just to be clear. No. This is a different short-ass. He's a different short, right. Yeah. Basically wanted a few clicks, spun a tale at West Ham, knowing West Ham fans, very proud, big community club, and the poppy in this time of year is quite important to a lot of people, quite rightly, you know. Yep. So he spread the rumour that West Ham would be the first in the entire time that we've had poppies on shirts, be the first to go, we're not going to do it. As if a Premier League club in this country is going to go, we're not going to put a poppy on a shirt. Utter madness, designed to rage bait a certain section of the fan base, and it worked. And he got his money, and he fucked off to Tenerife. Do you know what I mean? No. Little bastard. Yeah. Well, I don't. Yeah. And of course, they did have the poppies on the shirt, and there was a beautiful minute's silence, like at all the rest of the Premier League grounds and football grounds, as it should be. Yeah. As well as those lovely, very intimidating bubbles flying around the stadium. Do you know, I did, this is a slight diversion, I've met that bubble machine. Have you actually? Yeah, I've met that bubble machine. I was in London for something a couple of years ago, and there were no match on, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go do stadium tour. And one of the things was the bubble machine in Tunnel, and I'm like, okay, I want a photograph of that, because it's like, yeah. Can I just ask? Is this a little bit like the goldfish? Is it just a bubble machine that gets changed every 3 or 4 weeks? Yeah, so it's not like the one that Billy Bonds had seen. It's not the original. No, Bobby Moore had nothing to do with this bubble machine. Fair enough. Shall we get on to? Let's get on to the Leeds game. I reckon. Let me get that done. Let's not pretend that it was yesterday. It was ages ago. I can't really remember what happened, other than the fact that we were shit. I mean, so bad. I think it took us until the 80th minute or something to have a couple of shots on target. It was absolutely awful. Now, when you break the game down at the cold light of day, we were hanging in there, and it was 1-0. And the thing is, if you're not playing well and it gets to 1-0, you can always nick something, can't you? As long as when it's 1-0, you're sort of there or
still
thereabouts.
In it, are you? Yeah.
Yeah, and he made changes. And to be fair to Farke, he made positive changes, or what we thought were positive changes. He brought Harrison on, who we'll talk about him in a minute. And he brought Dominic Calvert-Lewin on, and he brought Dan James on.
Pirro came on in 74th.
74th. So he did make an appearance, did Pirro. I think he had about 5 touches, though. And you sort of go, okay, well, he's going for it. Now, unfortunately, what happened was he didn't change anything. So it was like-for-like changes. And we thought Harrison, we might go 3 at the back here. Harrison moves up a little bit, do a sort of a 3-4-3 type thing. Harrison gets some balls in the box. Nope, Harrison went to left back. He gave away a penalty. Their right back, can't remember his name now, so much better than him, knew he had the beating of him, beat him once, we got the warning, beat him again, pulled him down, penalty. We make the substitutions, and suddenly they score 2 quick goals and it's game over. Yeah. And we were never, ever in this game. I am now really, really worried. We can't score goals and we can't defend. They're not in a good place. Go at them, go. We didn't. It was just like...
Just paid them too much respect.
Oh, yeah. It was just awful.
You played your table positions. Well, you did. Yeah. Forest played differently.
I think he went there going, just don't lose.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I just don't think you can do that in the Premier League. I think Burnley have tried to do it a few times. They've been unstuck. You just can't do it.
Yeah. I think that was the losing thing. When Sunderland went down, that were their remit. Don't lose. Because they were so used to circling that plug hole. They were just, don't lose. And eventually you just lose and you go down.
Yeah. But I go back to what we were saying before about what really worries me. And I'm not going to put the stats for going down. We're still outside the relegation zone. But this is now massive. The next game against Aston Villa at home is huge. You can't just rely on your home form. Especially with the run of games that we've got coming up. But my worry is, which is the same worry that I had all along, is that I always said that you, and even Wolves to some degree, and Nottingham Forest, have got the individual quality of player to do something different, to get a goal. He's got you ticking over now nicely.
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest are ticking over, a little bit better now. They're going to be much harder to beat. But we never even tested them. It was an absolute breeze for them, and I am genuinely now really, really worried. Unless something changes drastically,
yeah.
I just don't see where the quality is.
I mean, you look at. I mean, I'm going to say looking at the form, and this is based on 2 games. Forest drawn 1-1. West Ham 1-1. Burnley lost. Leeds lost. Wolverhampton lost. So that's the direction of travel.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's tenuous because it's only 2 games, but.
Well, it's a funny one, isn't it? Because, obviously people are sort of going, Farke hasn't got a clue and all the rest of it. And there was always this he can't win from that perspective. I'm not going to sit here and sort of go, he needs to go. But it just feels like he's a dead man walking. It feels like they're almost just sort of going. I think if we get beat on Sunday against Aston Villa, I think he's gone.
When we've had and still are, we're still in the mix of it. When we have seasons like this, we will turn up against top 6, and then we'll just capitulate against the bottom half of the table. Teams in and around us will let them absolutely spank us. But we'll turn up against Man City and put in a rate shift.
But the thing is, I think this is the difference between Leeds and West Ham. When the bigger teams, let's say, like you were saying about established Premier League, the established Premier League teams, the real established ones, come to town, they don't sit back.
No.
They don't sit back and be hard to beat. They come at you, and you've got players who can catch on the break, who, speed, not just physically fast, but speed of thought, good players who can, pick a pass, etc., etc. And so, actually, potentially, you're going to be better in those games than somebody, I mean, Burnley aside, we'll talk about this in a minute, somebody who sits in a low block and says, come on, you have the ball.
Yeah.
So I get that, but we haven't got that.
And I kind of feel like there's a spectrum to it. There's like the top end here with Man City and Tottenham and all those who are just playing their own game regardless. And then you got the bottom end who are again playing their own game regardless, home and away, but it's a defensive, sitting back and just counter-attacking, because that's what you need to do. You need to shore up defence and try and nick a win when you're down that end of the table. And then you've got the in the middle bit where you've got somebody like Villa who might play defensive one match and then go on the attack on the other. And I think they're the ones, when you are at the bottom end and you're playing counter, they're the ones you really need to be getting at, because they're the ones who might turn up and go, we're going to play for a draw here because we've got, Conference League on Thursday or whatever. We're going to we're going to rest out, blah blah blah. And it's just picking out where those opportunities are. But like Farke he feels like a championship manager who's slightly out of his depth in Premier League. And it's the same as, you'll buy a player from Championship and it's a big step. It's a big step, and I think
massive.
It has to be the same for managers. Like there has to be a skill set and a depth of knowledge which maybe just isn't there.
There's probably only a certain few managers who you can guarantee are going to do okay at that level. But who? I mean, who comes in?
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at possibly going and getting. I mean, somebody like, I don't think it'll happen because I don't think he'd come. But somebody like Gareth Southgate, I think, could be a good shout. Somebody who's used to working with that calibre of player and can get, and he's looking for a return into league football.
The names that are doing the round that I've seen, Steven Gerrard,
unproven in the Premier League. He did bits at Villa, not a lot.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, that'll never happen.
Being Leeds, probably not.
That'll never happen. No way.
It's not a bad shout, though.
Listen, I think if I was standing outside the club, I'd be thinking, he's got some experience there. He's got some experience abroad. But just no chance. You can't. I mean, he's just...
That's an enormous leap.
No chance.
Yeah.
I mean, not only from the point of view of, I think he probably would, if he was offered it, I think he'd probably do it.
Yeah.
But there's no way the Leeds fans would have it.
No.
There'd be riots. It'd just be absolutely.
You may as well just get Alan Smith back.
Do you know what I mean? You might as well just get Alex Ferguson in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, oh my God. Anyway, I go back. Last thing I'm going to say, I'm going to do my stinker, actually.
Yeah, all right.
My stinker is the board, the 49ers, and the reason it's the board. It's not. I'm not a sack the board sort of stuff. I'm not doing that because I've had enough shit owners over the recent years to know that they are not shit owners.
Yeah.
But they've gone down a track of buying in the summer to make us harder to beat. Physicality, height, hard to beat.
And then
3 goals in 2 games.
Gambled on Calvert-Lewin being fit and up to speed.
Which he wasn't for that game.
No.
But then, just having Harrison and just... Oh, and the other thing was, after the match, he was asked about Dan James. He said, why did Aronson start instead of Dan James? And he said, Farke basically said it was form. That Aronson got in the team ahead of Dan James on form. And he's sort of going, oh my God. And then Wales have played twice this week and Dan James has started. Well, I mean, Dan James must be thankful that Harrison isn't Welsh.
Yeah.
You're sort of going, what do you mean? He's a winger. Aronson isn't a winger. What do you mean on form? If Aronson is in that starting lineup ahead of James, unless James gets injured tonight playing for Wales, I think there's going to be fucking riots. I think they're going to go nuts unless we win.
Yeah.
My stinker of the week is the board.
Yeah. For
that reason. I think if we get badly beaten on Sunday, I think that's end of the road. And then I worry about who else is going to come in, who's going to do it. I did see that Fulham have offered Silva a new contract, which he hasn't signed because there is rumours that he wants out. I'd have him every day of the week.
Yeah, I would.
Every day of the week.
And I think he's probably done his dues to get a big club.
Oh, and also, while it's on my mind, Bamford signed for Sheffield United.
He has, yeah, I saw that.
Which, with his history with Wilder, that was quite interesting.
Yeah, and, it just... I saw that and just thought, yeah, that judging Sheffield United on their successes of late, sorry, John, yeah, that feels right up their street in terms of an unhinged...
It's a funny one for me because I sort of want Bamford to do well.
Yeah.
I want him to carry on his career and all that sort of stuff. Not for them.
No.
I hope they hate him. I hope he ends up being a hate figure there. But at the same time, I'm also sort of thinking if he does go there and he starts banging the goals in, it's like that's just another striker that we've let go. Which it leads me on finally to League One. Oh, very good, yeah. League One, Liam Cooper. Super duper Liam Cooper signed for Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah.
So League One Liam back to being League One Liam.
Fair.
And quite frankly, I've finished with all of it. All of it.
Till Sunday.
So till they at least they're not going to ruin my entire weekend.
No, you've got Saturday. You've got Friday night, Saturday.
I do have to say a big happy birthday to Danny, who is definitely one of our watchers. Big birthday coming up for Danny, 50 on the 20th.
Wow.
50. I don't know how we got there. And I'm hoping that Leeds don't ruin his 50th weekend.
Yeah. Happy birthday,
but
Danny.
they will. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Go on. Tell me about the fucking West Ham joys.
Well, you say that, but I mean, I were like, and on the last episode, it's a while ago, but I was quietly confident. I was a 55%. We're going to come away with 3 points, but I don't think it's going to be popping champagne bubbles. Bubbles? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think I'll prove right, because I think we played at 70% of what we did the week before against Newcastle.
It was more than enough.
It was more than enough, and maybe that speaks of Burnley a little bit, but we still had some decent moments from a lot of the players. Wan-Bissaka, Fernandes, Bowen. They absolutely pinned Bowen. They had his number. Diouf seems to have got into the habit of starting poorly and growing into the game, whereas when he first started, he was starting well and maybe tiring a little bit towards the end. But he's gone the other way.
Thing about Bowen though, you say they pinned him, which I agree. I think they did, but I think that opened up space.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you don't mind that. I'm quite happy to have it's like the Dominic Calvert-Lewin argument. If he's occupying 2 defenders and, they're all over him, as long as somebody else in that team is taking up those spaces, and which you guys seem to be doing at the moment in spells.
Yeah.
Then.
And I think that's the key phrase, in spells. So you've got Potts, and I think it was another reasonably decent performance
Potts,
from Freddie.
Who's Potts? I've never heard of him.
Freddie Potts. Freddie Potts is he's our academy graduate. Do you know his dad used to play for West Ham? Steve Potts and his brother
I think I might have seen something. Yeah.
So that midfield: Fernandes, Potts, Paquetá. I think Paquetá maybe was 70%, and I think that was the difference. As they're picking off Bowen, we've got Somerville, Wilson, Paquetá, Potts, Fernandes, Diouf, all making up for that space. And like I said, it was reasonable. I forget who scored first. Was it them? It was 35 minutes, and then right on half time, Wilson scores. Doing like, and I think that really vindicates his start. And we kind of talked about early on in the season how he's on this weird contract of almost pay as you play, and he's on about $9,000 a week plus appearances and stuff. And he's absolutely, the last couple of games he's earned his money.
I mocked that signing. I mocked it.
I did.
But you know what? I mean, if he scores you 10, 12 goals this season, it's worth it.
8 goals, 8 assists. Do you know what I mean? How many points is that? Mental. They scored, we equalised, second half, Souček, Walker-Peters, who straight off the toe of Bowen. That should have been Bowen's goal, but I don't think he'll really mind.
That was funny, actually.
Yeah. But I think Walker-Peters deserves to get a goal. Magassa came on for Wilson, and this is the point where I kind of thought, we're gonna sit back and we're gonna do blah blah blah, and I just think that was a weird Igor came on, and I think he did fine. I think he's He's decent.
You pretty much did what Nottingham Forest did against us,
Yeah.
which was we scored first. Decent goal. It's a bit of a scramble, but it was a decent pass. Good finish. Good goal. Happy. The difference is 60 seconds later they scored.
Yeah, and I think that's fair enough. The thing where we got to 3-1, Walker Peters had scored in 87th minute, and I think we just switched off. And whereas Kilman and Todibo weren't the £80 million duo they were against Newcastle, they were maybe the 60 million duo. That last goal, Josh Cullen goal, they just switched off.
Because you're still in the relegation zone. You can sort of forgive them for going, whoa, hang on, and we're 2 goals up here. Let's not fuck this up.
Yeah,
yeah.
Because that's the thing.
We keep hold of it.
If we'd have gone on 3-1, the goal difference would have pushed us out with the relegation. We let that goal in, and we stay where we are. That's the thing that we're really disappointed. Is thinking, right, we're coming out, and Burnley were going in, and no, Burnley are still above us. So, I think even though they're lost, I think they could probably walk away with a fair, kind of fair enough. We lost it, but we're still ahead. Represented ourselves well. Scott Parker looked angry. What an angry man Scott Parker has become. I mean, he was always angry at West Ham when he was captain, always shouting and bawling. But yeah, I hope it works out for him. Just not when we play him again.
I hope it doesn't work out for him, because quite frankly, I'm 100% relying on Wolves and Burnley now, and then hoping we can drag somebody else in.
Yeah.
Whether that's a Brentford or a Fulham or whoever. But yeah.
Yeah, they're the 2 ones for me, Brentford or Fulham. Fulham have had a shocker, really.
I did think this at the beginning of the season. We just need 3 teams to be worse than us.
Yeah.
So at the moment, we're sort of on course for that. But there is an element that you're sort of going, but I don't see 3 worse teams than us at the moment. Arsenal beat us comfortably, and we go, our season is not going to be defined by losing away at Arsenal.
No.
But our season is going to be defined by playing Burnley, by playing Wolves, by playing West Ham, by playing Nottingham Forest.
All those.
And at the moment, I've just talked myself around there. Because out of those 4 games, we beat Wolves, we lost to Burnley, we beat you, and we lost to Nottingham Forest. So do you know what? Perhaps it's not the end of the world.
Who knows? Stranger things have happened. I mean, look at Leicester. They circled plug hole, and then the next season they went and won it. So, my stinker is Josh Cullen's goal.
Because it put you back in the relegation zone.
Yeah, there's no contest. It's that, especially because he's a West Ham boy. He's Josh Cullen. Yeah, he's one of our academy players. Went to Antwerp under Vincent Kompany, and then Kompany brought him back to Burnley, and then Kompany went to Bayern Munich, and Cullen were like, "Hello, and no, stay at Burnley.
See ya.
Yeah, adios. Yeah. I've got Harry Kane.
Yeah, you're not coming.
Yeah,
fair enough. So that's your stinker.
Yep.
Do you want a minute?
Aye, go on then.
England's Jared Bowen. How much are you getting for him in January?
We're not getting a bean for him because he's not going anywhere, is the serious answer. He can't leave West Ham. He can't. He's married to Danny Dyer. Do you know what I mean? He's on an 8-year contract. He's married to Danny Dyer. And I mean Danny Dyer. Like the man. Like, forget his daughter. Danny Dyer has got Jared Bowen as him. That's his husband. But I would not accept right now, considering his stats, and it's only the fact that he plays for lowly old West Ham that people aren't singing his praises, because he's been consistent for the last 3 seasons about this. And he's, on paper, a better winger than Saka. His stats stand up. And he's absolutely ahead on goals and assists. And has been, at times, and late in the season, higher than Salah, higher than Saka. Do you know? And he's underappreciated. I would not take anything less than 100 million quid for that man.
Is that your minute?
Yep.
How long's he got left on his contract?
Got about 7 years. He's going to be about 42.
He's basically being paid for by the mafia. And
by the East End.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. He ain't going nowhere.
No.
And if he is, his kneecaps are going to get blown off and his kids are going to be killed. That's what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be
Right.
it's gonna be early noughties Danny Dyer that comes after him. That one who did all them shit gangster films.
Yeah.
How much money in the transfer kitty could the 49ers provide that would make Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the manager that everybody would go, fair enough?
Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? That is interesting because you would sort of imagine that if they turned around and said, right, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to... Listen, guys, we've got some good news. We've got some bad news, right? The good news is we've found 200 million to spend. The bad news is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is coming in as manager. I don't think that's enough. I don't think that's enough. I don't think that's enough. The problem could be because the problem is that you sort of, it's like Farke now. He's dead man walking. It's sort of just waiting for the results to get worse so that he gets sacked. As soon as somebody like that came in, even if it was Steven Gerrard or Frank Lampard or that ilk, you sort of going, it's just going to take 2 games where we're shit, and then the crowd are just going to turn. It won't be worth it. They could say $1 billion. No, $1 billion would be fine. Nah, you just can't. You just can't.
Fair enough. Time's up.
Yeah.
200 million. I mean, you could do bits with that.
Yeah, but then we'd end up in administration in League One again.
Yeah.
Because we've overspent. If it was going to be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I might as well go all in and just get Gary Neville. You know what I mean?
Hey, Gary and Phil Neville at the helm. There's a pairing.
Yeah, and Roy Keane as assistant coach.
Yeah. What a
But
team.
do you know what? To be fair, I fucking love... I'm not saying Roy Keane, by the way, but somebody like that that's just going to go, oi, come on.
Do your job.
Yeah, exactly.
Do your job.
Lads, you know when you get your paycheck at the end of the week, that job that we pay you to do? Could you just fucking do it?
Says it on your wage slip.
Footballer.
Yeah, footballer. Play a game. Play a game.
We're not playing till Sunday, so they're not going to ruin my weekend.
No.
That's about it.
Great. It's a really captivating ending, that, Lee. Thanks.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, but I know exactly what you mean because I was there 2 weeks ago and will likely be in that position again at some point this season.
100%. 100%.
I mean, we'll still be at European places, but I'll still be annoyed.
Where are you finishing?
I think right now, I think anywhere top 10, like genuinely serious, like anywhere top 10 is ecstatic. Is utter madness. So I think it's very similar, like 12 to 8, 8 to 12, something like that. I think is quite reasonable. You are one of the biggest flip-floppers I've ever met. Yeah. Incredible. Good. Well, I'm looking forward to that that Prosecco that we talked about at the top of the show. That Prosecco turning into the finest brut champagne. With Kyle from Malia. With Kyle. Yeah. Kyle serving the booze. If you're called Kyle and you served in a Malia bar in 2009, let us know in the comments. Let us know. Exactly. Like and subscribe, Kyle. Yeah, like and subscribe. Tell your mates. Share. Give us a holler. Don't know what that is. I don't even know what I would have. Not a clue. Don't know what it is. We'll see you next time. Yeah, we'll see you in about 3 weeks. I would have thought so. Yeah. Thank you very much. Adios.